Here we go with the Amateur League Grand Finals, ladies and gents. We've got ourselves a Zizi over here in the teal color, playing as the Dark Elves. On the other side of Wastelands of Zoo, cross spawn this time around. This is our Orc Gamer Newob. Bringing the Gobble Warlock to the field and actually going after the much harder to kill bandits rather than the easy undead. There's probably a reason for this. It's that there's iron here, and if you go for a very fast tier 2, you can go for that. As for the Dark Elves here with Zizi, we've got the Reaper. So that's going to be very nice for AoE clear in the long term, once you can get some of the many creeps around this map. You're initially boxed into, well, these boxes, right? These bases are boxes. You can only exit through the middle and by destroying these barricades, but they have 3,000 health, so that would take a long time. Then there's this middle healing spring as well. There's a Godstone hidden there under the Fog of War. Zizi's going for a food-heavy build this time, and we might see some early spooters from her maybe. But historically speaking, in this tournament, Zizi has liked to save those next two workers for a stone or another wood. We'll see what exactly she will be going for. A second hunt already. That's very interesting. I mean, you are skipping a base here, so it makes sense. And I like Zizi's pathing a little bit more here than I like Newob's. By the way, because this is an amateur league, I'll be giving more how to say this, instructional commentary. You know, just checking what they are doing, what they should be doing, I'll talk about as well. So I don't like going back here after you already got one of your boxes, right? Because you'll have to do so much walking. So much better if you hurry up to your next base like Zizi is, skipping this, but then you can get here faster than the other guy. And Newob is, fortunately for him, not going that way. Imagine if they were going to the same direction, but then the Dark Elves are already here upgrading it, and you have a hero that can't flag fight. So that would be pretty horrible, right? Well, Zizi is taking care of her side of things, and because Newob went for the other side, he'll be fine as well. Should lead to a smooth economy for both sides. However, if you have a situation where you go to the same place, both of you, well, that can be nasty. You'll be flag fighting and only one of you will win. And to go to the other side, you'll be just as quick as the other guy. So that can be a disaster sometimes. You get completely shut down and have no ways to deal with it. But yeah, this is not this game. This game is fine. Just take a quick look at Newob's build as well. We've got the double stone nightmare once more. We've seen this in the past sets from Newob. It shouldn't be done this way. Like, if you absolutely must do it, then one stone cutter with half a worker in it, right? That's fine. A single worker, that is. And then you get a early war pit, and then you get your drummers out. I think that is a build order that makes sense. To overdo stone like this, not so great. You'll be floating a lot of stone that could be other resources that could allow you to get your other bases up faster with more buildings, with more upgrades. Right, we're floating a little bit of food, but we can't really spend it because, well, wood. So you would have to invest into wargs, basically. That's the only choice. Now let's take a look at the hero builds as well real quick. We've got Totem of Sparks, we've got Healing Totem, Totemic Might level 2, which is very nice for the extra armor and empower. Chain Lightning, but once again, no Life Bloom. Life Bloom is such a good skill to have, especially against Dark Elves, where you can fairly easily shut down individual units. They're not that tanky. And we've got the Fashion Force situation going again with the hat.
Building completed.
It's the best hairstyle one could ask for on EO. The regeneration is only for out of combat states, right? So during combat, you don't actually get to regen from this. There are very difficult creeps to fight, so maybe, you know, on the run between the different sectors, it could be valuable. Zizi's already here, however, in the corner, securing this major iron base. And then can just teleport back right to the middle and probably start thinking about taking on one of these iron ones. Let's take a look at Zizi's skill tree. We've got corruption, so it would be fairly easy to do that, especially with a little bit of support from the infiltrators. Void arrow reduces the damage of these enemy creeps. So I think attacking the iron ones isn't actually a bad idea at all. Zizi could use the extra economy after all, especially for food, and the middle does have food. It's like 150 per sector. The gobos are absolutely getting wrecked, by the way, by the iron ones. These guys, the main one already split into two. They're much easier to take on, but they're still pretty good at bonking. They've got some strike damage to them. So that's what they'll be using against units, but against buildings they'd be using siege. It's just, obviously the Goblin Warlock has got this, I think. Wait, where did Zizi go? Oh, down here, okay. We're taking another iron sector. She really does like her tier 2 play, but this time she's going a little bit heavier with the barracks units than I've seen before, so that's probably a good thing for Zizi. She's going wide and not really upgrading the extra sectors until just now. That frontier post has been upgraded. The orcs have plenty of upgrades left to do as well. These scouting posts I'm not a huge fan of because they only utilize 1.5 buildings, whereas if you upgrade them you can utilize 3 buildings, which is double. Double is better. Okay, taking on those undead now. That should put this Reaper at level 4. Level 4.5 actually. Sorry, that's Newob. Zizi is at 4.25-ish. And now can go after the larger creeps like the gifted iron ones in the middle. Originally, this is a Medusa camp, by the way. But in this instance, we are playing on a modded version. There's also extra heroes, but these two aren't using them. That was optional. Like, if both players agree, then you can use A, the undead faction, and B, the new heroes. But each can individually be vetoed. The maps, however, I put my foot down there. We're doing the maps. And that includes some new creeps on existing maps, which I think is neat. Okay, the goblins have a much better chance of surviving now with the totems, and the Goblin Warlock also speccing a little bit into Brute Force, I believe. Arcane Force, excuse me. There's no extra speccing there, by the way. So it's really just the timely usage of the healing and Totem of Vex. We'll be taking these down fairly easily. Zizi actually doesn't want the business. Running away from that gifted one. Gifted iron one, excuse me. Also not bothering with the Wyverns. There's one each on this map, so there's plenty of experience left to get. Fairly easy map to get level 10 on, to be honest. And the Reaper would be partying if we reach the high levels for sure. Now, that's another iron sector there for Zizi. And I bet that's some lip-smacking business for Dark Elves when you have that many iron bases. Although it will take time to set up. That's the downside of the Dark Elves. It really takes time to get going. So it might be worth playing some tier 1 out still. You know, those infiltrators aren't bad. You got level 5 here for the Goblin Warlock as well. So the summoned Golem should be making a pretty big difference. And we'll probably see the summoning totem as well for undeads. That's usually what Newob does, but I would say Chain Lightning 2 would be a very good addition also. Maybe consider Totemic Might too. Okay, Zizi. Fighting the gifted iron one. Not even a spider has gone down yet. Okay, I cursed that one, to be fair. With corruption, this thing just melts. Oh, look at that. Alright, take the bags. Let's see it. We got level 5 for Zizi's Reaper. No kits just yet, by the way. Oh, wait, we have the tier 3 armor. That's neat. And as far as the iron ones go, they just drop potions. Nothing too surprising there. And we should be seeing just Blood Shower and Kiss of Nor here. Standard stuff. Nothing surprising. Zizi's also speccing into Arcane Force, and as that goes higher, it will be soon possible to severely damage Scoundrels together with Blood Shower. Obviously, they'll be having a hard time surviving. But, you know, if you use all your totems, if you use your healing, if you use the Totem of Vex to nerf the Reaper, they can survive it. It's just that there's other units as well, you know. they'll be attacking the weak Scoundrel. Anyway, the Infectious Wyvern gets taken down very nicely here by the gang. Let's see what the item is. Two players are really avoiding each other for now. And there's nothing wrong with that for both of these factions. Like, you do want to build up with both pretty much. The Orcs get a lot more potent in tier 2. Which we have achieved, by the way. Hunters are being pumped. So it's good to see the War Pit being settled. It's good to see the Blood Forge is up already. So whenever Zarek Steel and Fight for the Calv will be upgraded, that's going to be nice to see as well. For the Dark Elves, it's pretty much just Infies and Spooters. Zizi going this wide is a little bit dangerous. Like, you know, you could get into a little bit of trouble there. It's good to see the fortified outposts here on the contested front. Actually, almost every single base is fortified outpost. That's great by Newob. Lacks a little bit of wood. Well, that's because so many buildings are being made at the same time. See, that was what I was saying about stone. Like, right now we have 76 stone. Now imagine if half of that was wood, then we'd be on positive wood. It's actually hard to spend your resources with the orcs if you set up correctly, but if you overdo the stone, then this happens. So yeah, I suppose you can print a little bit of Vorg to make up for things. Spend your iron on their upgrade. They're almost as good as hunters, I suppose. Overall cost effectiveness, but overall in terms of cost effectiveness. What's happened with that level 6? So we got the summoning totem for Newob. Didn't equip the ring, didn't go shopping, so this shaman is actually really weak in terms of armor, and obviously the Dark Elves can weaken that with corruption. And later, lingering curse as well if you want to really stick stack. 4 points in Arcane Force are already in, and with corruption too, that's basically a guaranteed kill on the Zombos, as Kiss of Nor is now 350 magic damage. But you have to land that corruption. Good to see so many gamers in the chat. Are the modern maps accessible? Yes, actually, since you're on YouTube, you got the links in the description, I think. Including for the heroes and for the maps. If not, then it's in the bracket links. Nobody really wants the business. I'd love to see the scouting post upgraded, but Zizi's a little broke in terms of wood as well. Overdid that hunting. You always underestimate with the Dark Elves how... Ooh! Kiss of Nor goes through, but there was no weakening on these guys. The bleeding, however, will do a lot of damage on many of these gobos. 21 bleed damage per second. Holy cow. They almost went down. Just one more tick and they would have died. But even so, you know, a lot of damage was done, actually. They have to take a moment to regenerate here, but they do so pretty quick. As long as they're out of combat, and you can also give them, obviously, your little totem. Zizi should keep engaging. Ah, there's no direct link to maps. Sorry. Farden, I think you have the power to link, no? Well, after game 1, I'll add it. Let's see if we have upgrades. We have 1 damage upgrade for the orcs. First harvester's out for the Dork Elves. And we've got a huge setup for Kiss of Nor here if we go for it. But no. Newob knows to retreat from that. That's too scary. I mean, freaking 35% reduction. These guys have minus 61 magic resist in that state. Nice little soul harvest there from Zizi. Just to get things going. Although it's pretty juicy already, I have to say. We also have sleepers on the field. First handful are coming out. Long season getting already upgraded. I don't know about that. Usually like to spend my first bunch of echoes on my sleepers. Because they'll gain triple damage basically. Well, through AoE, but still. 3 targets better than 1. Yeah, especially against gobbles, that's a big deal. Well, not the most fortunate setup here for Zizi with the infiltrators up front, but we've got the Kiss of Nor in the middle of the Scoundrel, and they all go down. Oh my goodness. Excuse me, those are Pesturers, but yeah, they're definitely gone. Oh my goodness. That hurt a lot. Newob's population just evaporated, but there are hunters behind this, and I have to say those infiltrators aren't loving this situation. The Pesturers, although extremely clumped up, are outputting some decent damage themselves. And Zizi gets beaten back for now. Lots of Spooders have died as well. So the orcs, just through sheer willpower and numbers, they're making it happen so far. Great job by Newob upgrading all the sectors and taking care of all the idols. We have too much wood now, however. Are we going tier 3? We will soon. Spent all that stone on the Pesturers, of course. Maybe a little bit too much. Well, this will probably have to be one of those teleport defenses. He has the resources to repair at least. So it should be possible to hold. At least for a while. Okay, the Darkrafts are walking to this. Border Fortress will complete, and the Sleeper does have all the abilities available. Huge corruption cast there on the Scoundrel or the Pesturers again. And the Kiss of Nor will clip him for sure. Oh my goodness, that wasn't just clipping them, that was finishing them off. And Blood Shower on top. Even more of them will be going down here. The Sleepers are up front this time, so that's great. Level 7 is reached by the Reaper, but he's getting focused a little bit by these Pesturers, and they're boosted by the Drummer, although Zizi has unlocked Blood Armor and will be equipping that right away. It'll be much, much harder to take that thing down. Is that actually on? Is this thing on? Wait a second. No, Zizi actually accidentally cancelled it by moving. But, you know what? Harvest season is not cancelled. Oh, so much. So much.
All right, we'll be fast.
Feast, my pretties. Okay, another engagement attempt. This time there are brutes, so there will be a solid front line for the orcs as well. You know, once you have a bunch of brutes, you can pretty much right-click bases, and you'll probably be okay-ish, more or less. Why isn't this thing repairing? Oh, it's belled! It's belled. The bell has been rung. Okay, Zizi notices it. Okay. Whew, that was stressful. But the orcs are right on top, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Focus fire on the Reapers in. There's no blood armor, but there's maybe enough time to cast a good Kiss of Nor in the middle of that. Let's see the Skelly summons. They are there. And where? Boom. No boom. We save it for later. Bunch of reinforcements getting caught. Mostly just harvesters, but there was a sleeper in there too. Okay, Board Fortress is nicely getting repaired there. He's buying some time. This is mostly Scoundrel and Pesterer, so not too much to worry about. You can't really upgrade their damage. But there is the Drummer. There are totems as well to help them out. That does matter. Okay. Corruption. Kiss of North Elf is there. Oh, even with the totem stuff, it's not enough. That is too much firepower for a new mob. Oh my goodness. The sleepers are opening up now. That's a ridiculous amount of gobos that just died. The battlefield is littered with them. Well. More souls for the soul grinder. We've also got balls of steel for Zizi. That's where the souls are going. Not a lot of hunters here for the orcs. Is still very much a gobble printer that Newob has active. Tier 3 is achieved, however, for him. Unlike for Zizi, who's tier 2. You can see through the icon on the minimap. We got the knockdown for the balls. That's great. Woohoo! That's still a lot of echo. Wow. And then there's all of that. Take a look. That's crazy. Zizi will be very echo rich. The more you continue playing into gobble styles, the more tier 3 resource you give the Dark Elves. So I wouldn't recommend it, guys. Ooh, another great hit there by Zizi. And I have to say the sleepers are holding the front lines. The orcs are getting knocked down. Frontline gobbles have been obliterated, and the retreat path is being cut off for that hero as well. Very weak units all over. Although these are border fortresses now coming up, so that will be able to more or less defend for a little bit. So it will need some artillery, I'd say. Although you can break through with brute force, that's cool. The Reaper especially has Blood Shower, which is good against buildings. We need to see a repair here from Newob for sure. Otherwise, it will go down very quick. It's the repair that keeps it going. Okay, no repair. Level 8 on the Reaper, by the way. Full wheel of Arcane Force. That means Corruption 2 is now 40% reduction. Oh my god. And Kiss of Nor is 400 magic damage. Blood Shower is freaking 120 pure damage against buildings. And 24 bleeding pure damage also against units. That's nuts. Well, Newob's hero doesn't have much to show for himself, unfortunately. You got the summons on both sides, right? That's nice. The totems help the army, but the hero itself isn't doing much. It's all up to the army, and if it's gobbles, the gobbles will melt. We need to see some kind of pivot to something better. Here's the thing, the sleepers can't really shoot up. I mean, they can technically cleave up. If they hit something on the ground, they can still hit air units. But if you transition now into Wyverns, that could be pretty good. Then again, there's not a lot of iron bases. We don't have the bottom iron base even. We have this, we have that. It's not a lot of iron mines, honestly. Whoa, those placements are not great. Okay, Newob is working on the Ice Wyvern. That's great to see, but I think he's out of range. He won't be receiving the XP with the Warlock if he's that far away. We have Wyverns, but I don't think that just got through. I don't think that got through. Yeah, I didn't. We've had these before. It's good to see the Wyverns. They also actually benefit from the upgrades that the orcs get. You can already see the 10 strike, 10 resistance coming through. That's great. And we got the second upgrade done for the hunters as well. This is the Black Ash base, which is now being harvested. That's over here. Oh, the Reaper nearly just died. Good. Good on Zizi to leave there. Oh, wait a second. The Sleeper's getting caught. How many is that? Dude, they just keep stacking up. How many? That was a lot of Sleepers actually just dying. Good catch. But if Zizi goes tier 3, which she is doing, if she sets up her Dark Temples, which she already has a bunch of, but there's more coming, no doubt, she'll have a good time overall. Striders, Twisted Ones. Those are very difficult units for the orcs to manage. This time we'll definitely have Blood Armor, yes? Yes. 1,000 extra health right there. Very nice. I think the orcs kind of have to be a little bit more tricksy against the Dark Elves. Like, if you go for the Occultist, then you at least have your very easy snipe on the Reaper with pulling him and then sniping him with your Hunters. For the Gobble Boy, I just think you kind of have to have a very strong tier 2 composition and boost the crap out of him with your totems. Get your Chain Lightning level 2 as well. And then hopefully you're okay. Defensive stance. Nope, never mind. It's not. All the balls got cleaned up. And they barely did anything. This is definitely Newob's opportunity to make use of. Let's see what you can do. There's more balls coming, and Zizi's starting to add Plague Beetles because, well, tier 3 is just slow. It takes forever to upgrade, but once it's in, it's so strong. Level 8 is achieved for the Gobble Warlock. I mean, the Orc army is doing alright. Why are these Sleepers not attacking? Whoa. Actually, pretty good run for the Orcs, considering that was Goblins still. But man, are they getting wrecked quick. Okay, finally we have a Basilisk. That's the stuff. Basically, once you can hold your own, I think adding 2 Basilisks is a no-brainer. They're so good. Especially with the Reaper. You get all the weakening. This monster does so much siege damage. And the siege damage starts being good against units once they are reduced in resistance, right? Oh, we got War Trolls. They're gonna be pretty good against this composition as well, except the Basilisk, of course. Vipers are gonna have a good time as well. If they can pick off some of these infiltrators, that's huge for them. I'm just afraid that they're hovering directly over the melee army and they're gonna get cleaved, aren't they? Wait, the Reaper just got sniped. Brutal. The Orcs have the momentum right now. Let's see what they can do with it. Both players are basically maxed. And there's no overpowered area damage right now from the Reaper. War Trolls can just go nuts on that border fortress, while the rest of the army keeps the Dark Elves away, but the first Twisted Ones are starting to pop out. Zizi maintaining that population. It's a little spooky, honestly, for Newob, all these undead. They just keep coming back. They're getting mixed with spiders. I'd also freak out. Oof, well, the guys get knocked down there. That's pretty damn brutal. Border Fortress will be staying up at this rate. Sleepers go for another round, but a lot of them are going down. It's just Newob is losing even more stuff. You know, the base has been helping the whole time. It's repairing itself. Zizi's elves are going up here to heal as well. And that's just a really good spot for them to hold right now. With multiple Twisted Ones coming in, they'll add some much needed magic damage. And I don't know if they have their upgrade actually, but it looks like they do. So if the enemy is impaired or bleeding, they'll be weakening them on top of that. And that's kind of wild. Because even now, without the Reaper doing the weakening with his abilities, you just get that from fighting. And next up, I suppose, we'll also see the addition of Striders once Zizi starts making those. For now, she's just making Sleepers. But anyway, the Reaper's back. Let's see what the gear is there. 16,000 gold. That is a lot of gold. Honestly, Gobos, they leave behind a lot more gold than they should. So, if you play against this specific style, you'll get rich fast. No Ponzi. Water Fortress is gonna get like 2-shot by these guys. Easy peasy. Now, Zizi could do something similar to that with all these basilisks. It's not the place the orcs want to be. Especially with the balls coming through and stunning these war trolls. And like I said, the weakening's in as long as the bleeding is. We might see a Kiss of Nor in the middle of this too. Where's the weakening? There's the Corona Cloud. And I just seen a boom. I think a lot of the orcs have just gone down. We've also seen the addition of Emissaries of Nor. And the Dark Elves are absolutely demolishing in this battle, but their population is also thinning out a lot. The Shamans are getting on top of the weaker units for sure. Reaper's still up, but maybe he can pull some of the aggro and allow the other units to just keep fighting. That's exactly what's happening. We've got the Strider getting added in, and it's just overwhelming force really for the orcs. They will be able to remax, of course. It looks like they're getting chased down. That remax will be very heavy on goblins. Not out of choice, out of necessity, looking at these resources. Like I said, there was a lot of iron opportunities to grab, especially down here. That would be nice to see. Oh no, some of these bases are bell rung. Yikes. Especially the Black Ash collection. Oh no. It's great for Zizi that she's controlling the other Black Ash base that's up here. It's not relevant for the Dark Elves, obviously. Emissaries of Nor just getting to fly over that terrain is very nice as well. Quicker reinforcements because of that. And I think Zizi just wants to max out again and, well, go again. We could see a lot more Spires of Souls for extra harvesters. Zizi is rich. Nice harvest. Whoa. Shiny. Who needs a Christmas tree when you can have a soul grinder? I approve of this religion. Level 10's achieved for the Reaper. Necromancers here also have their cookbook. What's written? You can actually see something in that book. What's written there? We're taking a look. Hold up. Stop turning. I don't know, but it's fancy. Anyway, we've got the big fight. Oh, sorry. Weakening. Kiss of Nor set up. Oh, it's really good. The Gobbles just evaporated. Newob down to 150 pop. I think Zizi can just take the fight, just retreat that Reaper. Yeah, chug the pot. It's all good. The rest of the army is fighting, which involves a lot of sleepers doing AoE damage. The basilisks are more or less targeting down important stuff as well, like the war trolls, right? No, they're not. Actually, it's a focus fire on the hero at the moment. Zizi's really trying to grab that. Many Striders getting the focus fire. They have stronger attacks when the enemy is bleeding, and that just happened. Everything melted. Look at what they're doing to the Ward Trolls as well. That's an easy base snipe there. Oh, and by the way, the Reaper made it. Zizi is still on 200 population, and I guess she's staying there. It's a good place to be. There's got to be a 1,000 echo here. Zizi's spending it all though on this nasty tier 3 army. It's very, very, very difficult to beat with the orcs. Or anything for that matter. This is where the Dark Elves are strongest by far. Oh, she has no more harvesters here. That's why she's not eating all that. Well, they're coming. How many? 12 harvester.
Yes.
This is so nasty. Really, the only unit you don't need in this is the one infiltrator. Everything else is perfectly fine. So this is doing this late game business great. Well, the bases are upgraded as far as I can see, save for this. It's a bit hard to see because this merchant icon is actually covering up. So I don't fault Zizi for that. Another outpost taken down. Middle now belongs to Zizi completely. Big overkill on that gobble, but it's all good. It's all good. Think it's time to go for the main, maybe. Okay, one more big fight here. Ah, Newob really doesn't want it. I don't want it for him either. But it's this is happening. Oh god. I agree. That looked like a to me. Oh, that's where all the echo was. Well, what can I say? It's a numbers game at this point. If you don't manage to get momentum against the Dark Elves, they're gonna have it for the rest of the game. It is what it is. They're probably a bit too good at this, to be honest. But there's no hope now. That's game one going to Zizi right there. Wanna guess the hero damage? I'm gonna say 120k. Wow, even more than that. That's nuts. I mean, so many gobos, they all take the hit. They're so tightly... they're maneuvering in such a tight formation, right? So they're all gonna get hit by the AoEs. It's brutal. Game number 2, ladies and gents. Zizi. Dark Elves. Teal. What's she making? Looks like it's gonna be the Guardian of North. She's switching it up. Yes. The time has come. On the other side, playing as the Orcs. This is Newob. Going with old trusty Goblin Warlock. If it's more or less working, why change it? Oh, Zizi had other plans. So this is still a hunting cabin, immediately fully occupied. That's good. It means you'll be able to make a spider immediately if you want, and still have a pretty decent timing for the next sector. Going through the Starved Wolves is significantly harder, however, than going through the pest bugs down in the bottom here. But if anyone can take it, it's the Guardian of North. He has a block chance. So that means he reduces 50% of the damage every time the block is triggered. And it's got a 10% chance to get triggered. You can also enfeeble these guys, which is... sorry. Yeah, enfeeble. Which is a damage reduction. That's your Soul Explosion skill here, which is basically a bouncy multi-target attack. And you've got Debilitating Blow, strong single target attack. Typically people will be just going into a whole lot of brute force supported with 2 deep waters, no more. And then you either get Plague Field, or you really go into blocking momentum to make this hero a tank. Some people would do that. I don't know about it. It's been nerfed a bunch of times, so even with the third point in and 100 health getting restored every second when you get a block, I don't know. I'm not sure that's super worth it. I'd rather get actual healing because it's reliable. Then again, you could build a super tank vampire hero here, which is essentially going into vampirism in the later stages and just having all your sacrifices ready. So Catharsis is the one where you sacrifice a guy, usually a spider, or later actually you usually sacrifice a harvester because that's free. And then you get all your guys regenning, and then you can upgrade to level 2 with immune to afflictions, which is super nice. Remove all the nasty effects like bleeding, like the Totem of Vex completely made irrelevant. That's rather good stuff. And then if you have vampirism, then 9% of your maximum health comes back every sacrifice. That's just great. Now, of course, on top, you have the Soul Shield, which is a massive resistance increase for the hero. Get your shield, get your armor pieces, you get your block ring. Gonna be in a pretty good spot from there. And then you keep adding health, the perk, instead of damage. That's a way people don't play this hero, but I always advocate for it. Maybe one day some crazy person will try. Maybe it will be me. But not today. Oh, Spectre, you're gonna go down, girl. Peace. Wait, we're not going for the clan standard? Alright. That's coming up then. Spider gets out though, and the Goblin Warlock is forced to chug a potion at the very least, so not bad work here by Zizi. You know, she's gonna have an even split here with the orcs, and that's good enough. Hell, actually, if this Goblin Warlock is not teleporting down, then Zizi can maybe steal this base. Dark Elves having a sector advantage against the orcs is a pretty big deal, a very positive thing for the Dark Elves, of course. Freeze achieved. Let me guess, the orcs have double stone again. Oh no, Newob, no! Please. I don't want to see that next tournament. Oh, by the way, this map has interesting creeps. We've got the triple spider camp, which are your elites. You got your heavy mobs as well. With the mutated cave spawn and the giant moles, the mutated boy is pretty nasty, especially you attack it and it will basically curse your guys with reduced resistances, but only the melee ones. So if you are Dark Elves and you spec into infiltrators, you'll have a good time against those. Not so true for the Guardian of Nor, but I mean your ranged boys can take care of it. The Gobos, on the other hand, will be in for a bad time. It's a good thing that Newob does have the healing totem. I wish he had a Totem of Vex, but that would need that level 4 that only these guys can give. Anyway, the way you deal with it is you at least remove the giant moles first, because then they'll not be adding further damage in when your guys have no resistances left. Not sure where Zizi's headed. It would have been good to contest this, because obviously when fighting creeps, if you add in your own damage from your army, that's a pretty big deal. Oh, and this guy also cleaves, by the way. You can see the Gobos are getting a lot of decay here, and that reduces their resistances by a ridiculous number here. Basically 100%. But thanks to the healing, most of the guys made it out. Now if Zizi is here, that's a completely different equation. Here's the thing though, she's only starting up on this now. And the orcs have a massive opportunity. If you keep your guy moving, if you're always on the move, bouncing from objective to objective, which in this case are the creeps, the orcs can have some crazy momentum, right? Just really need to get that smooth economy going, spend all your workers, make sure to get all those upgrades, and pump out those scoundrel boys. Oh wait, Zizi is gonna have to fight the army there. Wait, she's not? Huh. Because, you know, if you piss off the moles, they'd be probably helping. At least that's my thinking here. Yeah, I don't think Zizi wants to fight. Aha, I needed to use negative commentary. Then they fight. I was ready to look around the bases, see what buildings they got. Never mind. Well, the Goblin certainly can't do too much damage to the Guardian Nord. He's just got a lot of stats. He does start off with resistances as a melee hero, of course. And all the sectors of Newob are getting upgrades. The orcs have a very granular economy, so it's pretty easy to just put down 1 or 2 buildings at a time, and you can basically trust that that will finish up. No problem. At this time, there is enough wood as well to just actually spam everything down, to be honest. I mean, while the creeps are being taken, this is immediately going to be a level 5-ish setup for the Gobble Warlock, to be honest. That's what it looks like to me. But here's the thing, on this map, basically none of the creeps give you direct access to potions. You have to go back to the shop. It slows you down a little bit. You can't just not go to the shop on this one. Which I think is a really good change. It should probably be like that elsewhere too, that you would get crafting materials and then you would have to sell that. Or if there was actual crafting for items in multiplayer, that would be pretty cool too. Who knows? Imagine you would find some random formulas and then you put together your items based on just tiered crafting materials, right? Like the different difficulty creeps would just drop level 2, 1, 2, 3, whatever you call it. Like these ones are just fangs and wolf hides. I think there's some other crafting materials for like the what are they called? The jellyfish creeps on the other maps. Essences, that's it. Could go really crazy with that kind of stuff with the mods. Yeah, Nidari, but I was looking for the essence word. You know, my brain is too small to remember these things. Anyway, we've got the Blood of the Horde coming up for the orcs. We've got the Beasts of Bargagora after. I think Newob might be realizing that this is indeed the strength of the orcs. That you get that Hunter Brute out, then you add in your Wyverns, and that's actually pretty good composition. If we're not going too heavy on the Gobbles this time, that could really pay off.
Let's get this over with.
Something about rusty nails. What was the shopping run for? The usual? Oh, no fashion force here. Newob's here to win. We're getting the shaman's garment. Need those resistances. What about Zizi? No shopping run just yet. We got 2 more healing potions. That's more than enough to take the Spooders with. As far as the skills go, there is actually no plague field, so it will be a bit difficult to take the spooters on. But with that many infiltrators, it's not a big deal. You know, the Guardian of Nor can do the tanking. And this is just an impair. So you can't really micro, but it's fine. Spider v Spider matchup. Okay, the poison hurts a lot more. It's actually a pretty long duration and a pretty strong effect as well at 15 pure damage. You know, you'll see these guys get down to damn low health, that's for sure. Okay, what did Zizi get for that? A shielding amulet. It's almost perfect. It's basically perfect for this hero. I'm assuming she's gonna go heavier into damage with this. And that should be a level 5 right there. Also got the harvester out.
Yes.
And that's another nice little sector for tiny bit of extra hunt. It's not a big deal for the Dark Elves. It's a huge deal for the Orcs, however, over here, who are also taking the spooters. And this sector contains a lot of Black Ash. You really want that. So for Orcs, Elves, Humans, these sectors, oh, Dwarves as well. These sectors are a huge deal. For the Dark Elves, you're just pretty happy controlling the corner. There's iron there. You're denying Black Ash still if you have it. And you get a Godstone, which is mobility. Okay, we got the Bound Inferno Golem, but Newob did kill more creeps throughout this game, right? All those moles getting taken down. Puts the Warlock at level 6, actually. Still very much a right side focused skill tree. Not seeing any level 2s just yet. Might just go more points into Arcane Force, to be honest. But here's the thing, Newob has Wyverns only this game. Yes. So I'm not sure why we researched Brutes and Hunters if we're not gonna make them. We are making them, okay. We'll be fine. But it's not many. See, these Wyverns are pretty damn expensive, guys. 10 iron a piece. These guys are just 4, so definitely opening with Hunter Brute is great. You can do Ravager if you want, but they're also more expensive in food. Which is probably why they're just a little bit less used, a bit less viable. But hey, that's a great little breakthrough. What about that Reaper? Guardian of Nor. I've been conditioned to play and think about the Reaper. But we've got the tier 3 armor, we've got the tier 3 shield as well, so 20% block chance there. If you add in another block ring, you have 25%, which is fantastic. And then you can obviously add in your helmet for additional tanking power, get more resistances, or just health if you care more about vampirism down the line. But Zizi seems more interested in having silence here, so everybody shut up. It's gonna block enemy ability casting. Now you can talk in the chat actually. That was bad. Appreciation moment for all the different goblin kits. I like it. Some of them get nothing. Deep inequality in Orc society. Border fortresses are coming up for the Dork Elves. It's gonna be difficult to crack with a bunch of gobos. But this time Zizi does not have insane AoE. Sure, the sleepers are good, but more importantly, the infiltrators don't have great cover. They're gonna have to focus down the Wyverns. So far, so good from Zizi. Great micro there. Keep doing that, and the Wyverns could be neutralized pretty quick. But allow them to fire, and you'll very quickly find that your impies are gone. Guardian of Nor just taking it like a champ. Doesn't yet have his bubble. He's confirming the Dark Elf meta is not a bubble, but he is gonna go down for it. For his beliefs. Pirates have a huge opportunity here to snipe the clumped up infiltrators. It's so important to spread them out a little bit so that you don't get 5 or 6 of them hit at the same time. And Zizi actually is going to give up. I think that was a little bit early. But at the same time, Newob is looking pretty damn rich. So he was going to remax on these scoundrel pretty fast if Zizi loses the base. And there are several brutes here. So it's very likely to lose the base. Yeah, I could see the snowballing. It's true. It's true. I think it's a bit too early to give up, though. So, you know, just a thought for next time. Maybe play out a little bit longer just to see if you can somehow hold that base in the next one. Because a turnaround, I could have totally imagined. I really like the bubble shield, however, for that hero. It's very risky to go in without it. And it got punished. Alright, game number 3 on Evergreen Forest here. You've got Zizi playing as the Dark Elves, per usual. The hero will be the Reaper, per usual. Didn't feel that whole Guardian of North thing. And this is a pretty good choice for the map too, by the way, I would say. Newob on the other side, bringing the orcs and the trusty Gobble Warlock. Also, no big surprises there. Good to see Burn Soap in the chat, by the way. Welcome, welcome. And yes, we are still casting. No intention to stop. I will do another tournament series after this. I'm not entirely sure when I'll start it. But very soon. Let me see how my rest of the year is looking. I'll just take a few days to plan. Because I might have some holidays. If the timing works out, I'll just start it pretty much immediately next few days. Because this is the end of it today. At least of the ones that we have live. And then we just start the next one. My wish for Christmas is that there's someone else also joining in to make SpellForce content. That's it. Don't need anything else. Oh, and a real life Spire of Souls, please. I have a thing for those. Okay, we got the double toe cutter. No! It doesn't work. Don't do it. Or do it, but absolutely go nuts on the pesters. That could work. That would work. You know, going quickly after those snack ladies, going after the adamantium golem. I can see it. It might be possible. This thing just has so much pierce resist. You have to buy the orbs if you do that. I don't think you're gonna punch through Dark Elf bases, but you get a fast level 6 on your hero. I could see it. But again, if you do the early stone, it's either for the fastest tier 2 you've ever seen, or it's for early pesterers, and we're doing neither. That's my complaint. Zizi going in with the Hall of Pain. Actually, definitely has abandoned the early tier 2 herself, finding that a few early units are just a lot more useful. You gain agency on the map, right? That's really what this is about. A bunch of spiders, a bunch of infiltrators, and suddenly those creeps aren't so difficult to defeat. Your timings get better in terms of taking the bases, which means your economy gets better, which is a really weird thing to think about. You're going army, but because you get the bases easier, you can expand better, which improves your economy. It's counterintuitive, isn't it? But that's how it is. SpellForce does reward good creeping timings, and if you get your really good level 5 timings as well with these power spiky heroes like the Reaper, like the Goblin Warlock as well on the Orc side, you're able to attack faster because you just get so much more power in a small package. Dark Elves just cannot push without what's it called? Blood Shower. Cannot push without that, really. Although the new Warlock hero with the spiders getting OP can certainly push, but that's a different story. That's a very, very new thing, so... These heroes were not balanced for a long time either. It takes time to figure that out. Anyway, the Medusas are down. That was quick. Corruption is just such a useful skill. You can see how much faster Zizi is than Newob because, well, Newob isn't going in. Or there's no reason for it, actually. You have healing. You just lure in as few Medusas as you can at a time. Don't have to be too crazy about it. If you pull 2, then fight 2. That's totally fine. Ideally, you don't pull all 4 at once at this early phase of the game. But if your guys are standing still, you're basically doing it wrong. See, because it's a full commit, you have to fight all 4 now, and they're doing quite some nasty damage. You do have healing here for the gobos, which is very nice, but there's still 3 more Medusa left, and that healing totem will expire during this. Some gobos will die, but that's a sacrifice that Newob is surely willing to make, given the resources in the bag. Die, gobos. Go down. Wait, they're focusing the hero. What is this? Sorcery. Okay, there we go. At least 1 gobbo. 1 gobbo! That's such a good deal. Okay, but it could have been so much faster, right? That's my point. Okay. Where's that tier 2? No tier 2! Read you up! You're so rich! Wait, did Zizi grab her? Okay, I really like Lingering Curse here, right? You can just keep summoning your little skellies, and you can fight the big boy over here fairly easily with the Reaper because you have double weakening. The skelly will more or less distract it, and with just your handful units, you're able to do a lot of damage, especially if they're infiltrators, which Zizi has a bunch of. It's okay. The Reaper himself has an enfeeble, so you can weaken that damage output as well, not just the armor. It's taking a very long time here to build up. Again, we don't have the wood because we have all the stone. That was wood. Oh boy. Oh, and we're trying to go tier 2 at the same time while populating our bases. It's a very negative economy. It's very stalled buildings. And even the repair is detracting from all that. Once the resources are in the repair, money does get spent. Then you suddenly are tier 2 and you can't make your iron mines. So that's also not great. Wow, that Reaper was particularly pissed about that one worker there. Scouting post is absolutely getting battered, but there's no level 5 here for the Reaper. So really the units have to do all the work. Newob is repairing but not upgrading because, well, the wood isn't there. But if Newob did upgrade, suddenly the Dark Elves have no business staying. With the army here, it's the same outcome. So he's pumping a bunch of spiders, but this is just a basic town hall. There's no tier 2, no nothing. So very limited output right now from both of the players. She will need a stone very soon. Okay, she does have it. That's good, that's good. I missed it. Good. Frontier posts coming up here. More room for iron production. Likewise here, but the iron mine is so far away from the actual iron. The workers will have to walk all this way. And that will just reduce the amount of time that they spend mining. Like, the carriers are free to do their slow walk because there's so many of them and they have time, you know. Whereas the miners, well, they're just gonna be idle if they walk, right? You want to put them close. Don't put them absolutely too close, like you don't want to be in breathing distance. But this is okay. The workers wouldn't get stuck there. I think that's fine. This is great. So just do this with iron as well. Iron is your slowest gathering resource. It's the most important one to do it with, actually. Potion! We'll be fine. There's no blood armor this time. Just all gone into arcane force. And we got a very passive game for ourselves. I might double speed this a little bit, guys. If there's no initiative from anyone, then... well... okay, this is good, this is good. Zizi is attacking. This is one of the reasons I don't love Evergreen Forest too much. It's a pretty map. It's got Easter eggs. I love the creep situation. But there's a tendency for players to just sit and wait. That's what I don't love. At least as a caster. You run out of stuff to talk about. I could go off topic. Tell you guys that I started watching Invasion on Apple TV. It's really cool. I think they actually make really high quality stuff. And I'll probably catch up with Foundation next. Speaking of those Easter eggs, some of you may not know. Where are they? Okay, there's something here. What is that? There's some pipes. Doesn't feel so slow when you play. Yeah, I know. I don't mind it as much when I'm playing. Okay, there's some scrolls on the trees. And up here, there's some sacrificial ritual, I believe. Yeah, some humans still getting hung. They're just hanging out there. Ah, there's a sacrificial ritual going on. That's great. There. Anyway, we're fighting the adamantium golems. The spoolers are getting wrecked. No doubt the gobbles are getting wrecked. Oh god. It's looking bad there. Newob, you're not ready for this. You gotta bring the weakening potion, because look, weakening orb. Look how easy it was for the Reaper, right? Because he has weakening. That's all you really need. Even your basic scoundrel might be able to make it work with that. But yeah, now Zizi is level 6. Kiss of Nor and Blood Shower will be in, no doubt. And then there's 2 more points to spend. I would say Corruption 2 is probably what's going to happen here. Maybe the 4th point in Arcane Force. Although it is difficult to afford everything with just 2 points in focus. That might not be enough. But the orcs didn't actually get that level 5 or 6. So the Dark Elves can absolutely go ham right now. There's a lot of spoolers ready to go as well. A bunch of stuck reinforcements that I'm sure Zizi will grab. The first of the sleepers is coming out. We've got a good amount of iron mines. Zizi has some massive reinforcement distances as well here, by the way, but she probably just wants to safeguard the buildings. It's just these miners are gonna take some time walking back. But let's watch it. Let's just make it very clear what the situation is. When workers carry, they walk slow. Very slow. And then they sprint back. But that speed difference is pretty substantial, right? And when they walk so slowly, it means they're not gathering. But then you got the carriers that are traveling to and fro the iron mine and the fortified outpost. They got this covered. Like, they don't have waiting time, right? So if you put this close, these guys work more. And these guys don't take as long to do the ferrying as these guys do with the gathering. That's the reason you have to put these close to optimize. Of course, it does mean that your base won't be protecting the buildings. That's the little sacrifice you make. Zizi, I think, just drank a skill potion there. Yes, indeed. We did get that third point in deep waters, and just for safety, we got blood armor, which, you know, I don't hate it. That's okay. It's another 1000 health right there for the hero. Probably instead of Arcane Force 4, I might have liked Corruption 2 more, but not by much. Not a big deal. The ring that's been achieved here is the Ring of the Sacred Rites. There's ability cool that's not gonna go nuts, which is why the Deep Waters 3 is especially sensible to pick. And by the way, just to go back about the passiveness on this map, it's not a bad thing. That's the deal. Like, it's tempting to do because the map rewards you for just building up and then having a big fight later. Anyway, we're going for it now, and the Kiss of Nor is massive. A lot of the gobbles are going down. Things are really getting started here for Zizi especially. Most of the Dark Elven units are remaining strong, high health, right? It's looking good. The Orcs, not so much. Newob hasn't done the pump. There's a massive amount of banked resources that needs to be converted into actual units on the field. Evergreen Forest is not one of the maps where you have a lot of sectors, so it's very important for the Orcs actually to control this bottom one, or the side one rather. Meanwhile, the Harvester's also having an absolute party here. Love the addition of the Wyverns, and this is a much higher quality army than in the other games, but it's still very heavy in goblins. Let's see those iron mines. Okay, we got 3 iron mines here. 5 here, but with obscene walking times, unfortunately. You can just put them here. And then 3 more there. It's not bad. It's not bad, I have to say. But it could be more. Especially up here. Do you need that stonecutter really? Probably not. Okay. Newob has mostly remaxed. And there's a lot of high quality units that the spiders just won't be able to survive against. Let's turn the cam so we can see Kiss of Nor getting set up there. Oh, the scoundrel. What scoundrel? They're all gone. They're dead. And very nice focus fire from Zizi, taking out the Wyvern, but also good pullback micro there from Newob, trying to keep it alive. Trouble is, if you move around too much, the other army just gets to attack. The Sleeper's just still doing single target attacks, so it could be worse, but honestly, Newob is definitely not looking so good here. Oh, whoa, whoa, Goblin Warlock! The bleeding got him. And then that's level 7 for the Reaper. This thing's only getting stronger from here. Are we going for the full wheel? Or will it be a point in corruption as well? Oh my goodness, the echo harvesting from Zizi. We've just seen one in the background, but I can't not point this one out. And there's another coming. Another Spire.
Ready?
Imagine if these fights hadn't happened, like if Newob had just sat back behind that base, waited with the Wyverns to get numbers, run out with some of these scoundrels into this iron mine area just to force Zizi to be defensive while the numbers are building up for the Wyverns. It's a so much better fight. I can't even begin to describe how much stronger that kind of army would be when there's 7, 8 Wyverns. It's just expensive to set up because, well, they're... Aren't they 10 iron apiece, I think? Yeah. Zizi is just waiting for her abilities to come back. Do another big kiss of Nor. Oh, can't go for it right now. Is that the sleeper upgrade? Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. Now they're cleaving. 3 targets with each attack. Nasty, nasty damage. Zizi still does not want to go for the base though. Those Wyverns do look very intimidating. They're big, but there's just 4 of them. I think she can do it. Got the Bound Inferno Golem out. However, it's weakened. This is the perfect opportunity. The Kiss of Nor in the middle of all the gobos. They're also gonna get bled on. Oh my. What gobos? They're all dead. The base is gone. And the Bound Inferno Golem will also melt away while it's weakened to this degree. The sleepers are just going to delete the rest, and this is probably game as well. Huge Echo Harvest after that Goblin Massacre. Their entire race is gone. But it's okay, they'll live on in the Dark Elves. These Dark Elves are gonna eat the entire world. No crazy amounts of damage, but the first few Kiss of Norse were actually just enough to put that army out of the game. Look at that spike. Downward spike. Holy cow. 80 population deleted in the space of half a minute? Not even. That's crazy. The deciding match potentially for Newob has to find a way to make a comeback happen as the red works here. Once again, the Gobble Warlock will be the choice, and we've got a cross-map situation with Zizi on the far side. The bottom base, which I actually never recommend to get. Well, she's gonna chance it with the Dork Elves. Once again with the Reaper, a good late game hero here. But this Iron Mine is just so far away, it's very annoying. If you don't make much use of it, then fine, it's whatever. But it's gonna be a long walk for any workers looking to deal with that. Anyway, the other bases are just much more comfy. Look at this. It's just right here. I wonder. Nah, they're expanding away from each other, it looks like. It's a very different dynamic to playing standard spawns that you get in like matchmaking, because, well, if you have the opponent here, rushing is a real possibility. Sometimes it happens that people would just go here, they grab this, and then, oh, they're in your base, great. Then you have to come back and deal with it. Because normally I'd say, you go for this, and then you just rotate down, take the creeps, go down, take the creeps, take the next ones, go here. Then you have 2 Godstones to jump between the bears, and it's all good. Very easy level 5. But here it's gonna be just maybe these 2 for Newob, and then these 2 bear sectors for Zizi. Easy level 5, and then we'll just see if they wanna decide on actually playing Wyvern games or not. You know, there's 4 Wyverns on this map, 1 each type. There's also a good old Tempest Golem in the middle castle. Pretty easy to take down once you have the units, especially once you have weakening with the Reaper. Doesn't do that much damage, that thing. Or you can just go really freaking wide and get a massive economy and pump units. Don't have to necessarily focus on the creeps. It's just so much harder to put pressure on when it's a cross spawn. But if you expand toward each other, it's actually very doable. See, if Zizi just goes here, then she has a connection Godstone already with the main. So the main can just pump units into that Godstone and pop them out right here, right into the hero. Make a second barracks here, keep pumping, and just go right into the face of the orcs. That would be very doable, but I think it's just so much easier to play a Reaper at high level when you are up against a Goblin Warlock, because there will be probably Gubbos to delete, right? So if your Reaper can play into that, then great. Get yourself your big Gubbo deletions. It's not like the Warlock can pull you in and get the Hunters to snipe you. You have a lot more agency here than you do against the Occultist. And these two don't have to worry about the third heroes because it's not actually in play. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the Orc pathing. Very good opportunistic grab of this sector, which I normally wouldn't expect. It's also great to have this for a longer extended game. But when you do this, you definitely sacrifice a little bit of timing potential, right? But it can be really awkward later in the game to find the time to return to these bases. So if you just take care of it early and come back later, that's a good thing, in theory. What I'm not a huge fan of for Newob is that we've seen a focus on hunt already, which spans the wood, and then you can't make more lumber mills. So if you just do lumber mill here, lumber mill here, and then start worrying about the other bases and their upgrades, you don't have to upgrade everyone, just get 3 of them and turn them into fortified, frontier outposts. Then go tier 2, get your iron sectors. You should be comfy with that. All you need is a bunch of warg anyway to take down the bears. They don't like pierce damage very much at all. The Gobos, on the other hand, get resisted by 50 strike resistance, so it's a very different kind of deal. Well, Zizi has done sort of the pathing I spoke about, but she skipped these middle sectors, which are actually really valuable for food, but you don't super need it early on. These are still good, you know, with 150 each. It's just that you compete with iron there, whereas here it's just pretty obvious that you're gonna use it for the core resources and not iron. Anyway, she's got this big iron, still going for the creeps, not bothering with the bears just yet because, well, there's no... Wait a second, is this a stone? No, it's a 4th wood. Okay, that's rare. I think Zizi likes to do this on the more defensive maps. And there's the Hall of Pain, soon. We're negative, very much so. The early stone does indicate for Zizi a faster tier 2. We'll find that soon enough. Scouting post won't be denied by just these 2. Where's the rest of Newob's stuff, man? We got 38 food. Hunt the bears with some wargs. You don't need scoundrel here. The wrong unit to make. Also, there's so many already. At that point, it doesn't matter. But Zizi's hunting down a bunch of these clan standard. That's great news for her. If she can actually secure some of these bases and not let the orcs take him, just looking at the overall map split at the moment, this is pretty good stuff for the Dark Elves being ahead. in base numbers, both upgraded and flags. That is 6 upgraded Dark Elf bases to 4 Orc bases, excuse me. That is not normal. Okay, there's another one. Newob is catching up. T2's coming in. These are still scouting posts. I'd really like the iron sectors to be upgraded to frontier. And you can immediately plant an iron mine in each. This is against another Godstone. Okay, Bear will be going down with very minimal casualties. Situation is not too bad here for the orcs. That's level 4. If you just get the sector, you can immediately bounce down here with the Godstone. Teleport over, get the other bear. That's how things should be. Wait, why aren't we? Are we stuck? No, it's fine. Shopping run for Zizi. Zizi is also not really hurrying up with that bear hunt. Newob, on the other hand, is taking care of it. There should be a quick level 5. They're just going into the wrong spot. It's over here. Get him. Nice to see some pesters getting added. And that stone. The iron should be coming in momentarily too. Alright, this bear will go down pretty quick. Is he actually going for the Wyvern? No. Surely not. Or maybe surely yes. And it gets spotted by the drummer. Where are we going? Oh my god, there's a Tempest Golem. They want to attack it, but they can't. Oh, the Spectre will do it. Never mind. Where are these guys going? Oh, they're gonna meet. Fight over the Infectious Wyvern, but this is a level 5 gobbo, isn't it? It's not level 5! What the heck? What happened? We're missing one set of banditos. That's what happened. He's only level 4 as well. Didn't go for the bear path, and it shows. See, if you go bear path, oh, that's a free kill right there for the orcs. If you go for the bear path, you're level 5 here, and you're gonna delete the gobbos with Kiss of Nor and Rain of the Blood Rain thing. Blood Shower. Ooh, my brain is very small today, indeed. Can't contain all this information. There's a kill though, and we have obtained level 6 for Newob. It's a focus ring, and we have so much gold, so much gold. Wonder where the points will go.
The dead are with us.
Is he going for the Ice Wyvern? Can definitely take that before Newob comes around to it, but Newob will have another Scorching Wyvern. These two really don't want to fight each other right now. They're just more interested in creeping up. And there's no significant iron gathering going on yet either for the orcs. A big sin indeed. There's one iron mine, that's it. Okay, 2 iron mines. Oh boy. We really gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. fair enough for the amateur league, but, you know, you get my point. More equals better. God, this game is so pretty. Okay, Reaper's really going for it now. Should be a level 5. Yep. Close to... Oh, 5.5 actually. I thought they would be close to level 6, but not quite. Anyway, they should have a fight now with Blood Shower and Kiss of Nor active. And there should be also Arcane 4. Wait, what did that last point go to? Huh? Where did it go? I'm lost.
What do you want?
There's Arcane Force 4 here.
They're under attack.
He doesn't want to engage. Very weird. We've seen that there's Gubbles, but she's scared of him? Even though she has Kiss of Nor with those undead and some pretty strong resistance reductions as well. The Storm Wyvern's here for the taking. I'm sure the orcs will very easily go for this. All those Gubbles are probably gonna get hurt a little bit. Oh, teleport back. Did not expect that. No iron for the orcs indeed. No iron whatsoever. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6. It's not bad. But it was a lot less when we last looked. Newob's figured it out though. It's fine. How's Zizi doing? Here's 1. Come in. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Understood.
6. Yeah. The Dark Elves are gonna have an equal amount. That's nuts. Because the Dark Elves have more workers in them. 50% more workers. You'll see this getting reflected, by the way, in the sleeper numbers for sure. There'll be more sleepers than there will be hunters. That's not a good sign for the orcs. Where did Zizi? Oh. Yeah, here. Ready to take the bear. But I think she'll have to teleport back to defend that fortified outpost. Doing it already. A bunch of easy Goblin Pesterer kills if Zizi wants it. It's not much, but it's 4 kills. Still not bad. Okay, we're gonna have a huge Kiss of Nor there, aren't we? Oh, with the corruption. That did so much damage. The bleeding, however, didn't quite clip the weak ones. So they're gonna get away for now. The one drummer keeping the crew alive. They should be very easy to heal up if you just have a few moments for them, as regeneration is fast anyway, but then on top of that, in their own territory, it's just gonna be super fast. So those goblins will be back to normal. You actually have to finish them off or get more powerful with your hero. But the sleepers are starting to come in. If they're gonna be the front line and they're getting their upgrade, those goblins are gonna have a bad time. Unfortunate pathing here for Zizi. The infiltrators aren't routed through the Godstones. Army is currently looking to reunite, but I think they'll be forced to teleport back here again. Unfortunately for Newob, the Wyverns are immediately getting focused by the base. One of them will even go down, it looks like. Are we gonna get a repair from Zizi? Nah, she can't afford it actually with the wood being so in the negative. There will be another teleport here, but some of the guys aren't getting taken. Uh-oh. It's still enough though. It's all good. Well, I'm sorry, orcs, you don't have any upgrades. This is bad news. The Dark Elves have just a lot more echo and iron. They'll be able to keep pumping these high tier units. And I think these next few engagements will be very telling about the quality of the units. Now Zizi is researching those sleeper upgrades, the running blades. Just a bunch of more echo required. That's being sent home just now. And we've got border fortresses pretty much all over the place coming up soon. It's at the moment fortified. That's hard enough to break as is, but border fortress, now that's another level. Not that the orcs haven't done a good job upgrading everything. These are nice frontier outposts have been upgraded into fortified. Even this one. It's just this one left now. And there's only wood here until later when there's black ash. We're not going tier 3 yet. Oh wait, we are actually going to tier 3 in a moment. My Newob is only at 133 population. I have to say I hate this. This is not the fight you want to take. The orcs should be 200 population. Oh, the Kiss of Thor! Jesus Christ, the entire army is gone. 50 population just deleted out of the game. The hero is dead. The Vibrance are weak. The golem's gone. And the sleepers can now open up. They haven't even had to work yet. Dude, they just got here. That was an amazing Kiss of North for Zizi, and it's probably closing out the tournament for her, honestly. 174 population. The Dark Elves can just cleave through these buildings like it's made of paper. Ay, ay, ay. Man, this is brutal. Zizi is just kind of... That's wild. Kicking ass and chewing bubble gum. Or the other way around. I think we know which way around that is. GG Zizi, you are the champ of the Amateur League. Congratulations. And thanks to Newob as well for playing. That was a brutal finish, I have to say. But hey, we've come a long way already since this whole thing started. And I can't wait to see these two and the others as well in the next Amateur League when it comes. I'll just take a bunch of days to arrange it. Probably by the time this VOD is separately on YouTube, I will have already announced it, but let me set that as my absolute deadline. GG's.